You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you with a new Let's Play episode of Lyre, the next chapter. Oh guys, I cannot wait. Unfortunately, it took me a while to get to this point because the new update bricked my saves and I had to start over from scratch, and the game skip function doesn't work very well. So I basically just had to tap the spacebar like 10,000 times to get where I am, so... yeah. But anyway, guys, please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes. Let me detain you, and let's jump right in. Alarm saying you're up, and let's go. Alright. I just need to practice. Chapter 9, Day 24. Ooh, bloody dagger. It doesn't feel like I got as much sleep as I'd hoped. As I slowly wake up, I slide my legs off the gritty stone bench. The cold floor of the cell sends a shock through my body, but I'm too exhausted to jolt up from my relaxed position. One would think that I would get used to this by now, but I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Waking up like this isn't normal for me at all, and it will definitely take some getting used to. It could definitely be worse, though. I'm positive that it's way colder out there than it is in here. It's weird waking up and not hearing birds chirping or anything like that. There's almost no noise outside the window. Let me take a little bit. There you go. The wind is absent, and I can't hear any of the trees rustling. If I pay close attention, I can hear a little bit of commotion coming from the city. Everyone must be doing their daily routine. I imagine Eden is getting ready for the day and making a racket, getting all of his commissions prepared. Charlotte is probably getting her day started at the bakery too, prepping all kinds of food. So Eden is the bear blacksmith, Charlotte is the owl baker. Okay, I remember correctly. John is most likely learning more things about her from her about the trade, or just making sure the kitchen doesn't fall apart. Thinking about this causes my stomach to twist and shrink. I'm surprised I even remember their names. I only met and talked to them for a few minutes. Usually I forget someone's name the second they tell me it, but this is different. Here in Lyre, everyone is so much more interesting and unique. Nobody feels like another face in the crowd. I guess it's just because I'm not used to living here. I sit up and slouch over, staring at the floor. My reflection stares back at me and I sigh. I wonder what they think of me now. They'd probably believe that I really did kill the king. I'd feel awful if I ever had to look them in the face again. Visions of those nobles staring at me with disgusted faces on the winter solstice suddenly invade my mind. Too many people here hide behind a smile. I can't say the same for the villagers in the city, but I felt more comfortable around them. Even if I enjoy what I do, I feel like I'm constantly around the wrong crowd. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to just walk away from all of it. Go live somewhere nice and quiet among people who are simple and kind. I don't really know what I would do, but being away from all this would be enough for me. I definitely want to get out more. Probably take early walks in the crisp morning air. Movin'. Their voice causes me to jump up a bit, and my body leans back against the wall in a stiff manner. I really wish you wouldn't scare me like that. Sorry. I was getting tired of listening to you ramble. I really hate the fact that they can hear everything I think, but I've slowly realized there's no use in complaining. I wish that they shared the same sentiment. You should get used to it. Believe me, I thought I was. Her snarky tone makes me roll my eyes in a tired way, which is something I hope they see. I hear them chide me in a deep voice. You should really start practicing. The thought of practicing using the mind's eye makes me wish I could go back to sleep, even on this hard bed. I just woke up. Could you give me a minute? Right. Of course. As taxing as it is, practicing the mind's eye is one of the few ways I can cure boredom while I'm in this cell. In here, I can use it as a form of escapism. I can go to all these different places and have all these different experiences. I can't really allow myself to get too carried away with it, though. I have to remember my main goal. I have to practice so that I can be strong enough to see into the more recent past. I need to use it to see who killed Raynor. It seems impossible given that the trial could come out of nowhere. Not only that, but just knowing who the killer is won't save me. I need to use that knowledge to prove my innocence. Most importantly, I need to use it to prove who did it and have them face justice. I'll need time to think and figure it out. Relay information to the people that can help me. I can't do all of this the day before the trial. If only I could see Lyle. He could be so much help with that. I stand up from my sitting position and begin to pace around the cell, careful to step on dry ground. Now that I think about it, I've been practicing a lot. Maybe I could try figuring out who killed Raynor. There's no harm in trying, I guess. Wrong. Another abrupt word from Tygren causes me to stop in my tracks. There is a severe amount of harm in trying. How? I'm gonna have to try eventually, aren't I? You just need to trust me. You aren't ready yet. Something like that takes a lot of practice, skill, and focus. With luck, you'll be able to get to that point in time. But until then, you need to start smaller. Hearing them say all this angers me slightly. I've trusted them so far, but I always have this feeling in the back of my head that they're hiding something from me. They probably know this is how I feel, but I'm not about to bring it up with them. The fact that they can't tell me everything makes me even angrier. It doesn't seem right. I let out a sigh of defeat. Fine. I'll trust you, but you'd better not give me a reason not to. I can try. I sit down on the floor, crossing my legs and slouching over. I always have to have the last word, I guess. Staring into one of the puddles, I can see the reflection of the window. Dim sunlight shines into the room, giving everything a chilling glow. Is there anything in particular I should start with? That's your choice, but I would try to be a bit more imaginative. Lately, your visions have been a bit too personal. They've also been based off recent experiences or confrontations. And there's something wrong with that? Somewhat. You need to truly try and test your boundaries. Reach out beyond the horizon and take hold of a memory or feeling. It could be an experience you've always wanted to have, or something lived by someone you met a long time ago. Something near and dear to your heart. They pause to take a breath, or something new. Visions like this, they're like fuel for my avatars. I press my finger into the dirt on the floor and draw a line. Is there a reason why that happens? It just helps. I wipe the dirt off my finger and lean back. Okay, I'll try. I feel a warmth run through my body as I relax and concentrate. I try to think about home. The sunny days and tall white towers. The rolling hills by the cliffs and sandy shores. Waves crashing against the stone walls of the docks. All the people who made an impact on my life. Memories of my past and the things I've done. Sitting in the chair by the window with my mother, just talking with her. Watching the ships sail by. After a few seconds of closing my eyes and thinking about all these things, I feel as if I'm pulled away from my own body. I get the sense there's chaos all around me, yet for some reason my body can't feel a thing. I also feel like I'm floating. Or, it's what I think it would feel like. It's truly indescribable. That feeling quickly fades as I'm thrown into a perilous scene. Oh! A flash of lightning obscures my vision for a moment as everything unfolds. Heavy rain swirls around me as the sound of harsh wind drowns my senses. It looks like I'm spectating the scene of a ship at sea, surrounded by a terrible storm. Waves crash into the sides of the small ship, and sailors clamor around the deck. Some of them are being thrown all over the place by waves crashing onto the surface and flooding over the sides. Most of the sails have been rolled up as well. The ship looks old, too. It's nothing like the ones I've seen coming in and out of the harbor in Erin. It almost looks archaic. However, my body seems to be tethered to a single sailor. He's a monkey with light fur that looks like it's been bleached by the sun. His skin is dark, and his skin is a dark pink color, too. He's swinging around one of the ropes tied to a mast, looking around at everything going on around him. His eyes are bright as the golden sun. I'm not really sure what's going on or what I'm witnessing, but I get this feeling that I can't look away. His tail curls tightly around the rope as his eyes dart ahead into the eye of the storm. He's panting heavily and keeps looking around at what's going on with worry in his eyes. There's a coiled rope behind, held by his foot. I always thought it was cool that monkeys could do that as well. Lightning strikes again and the boom echoes throughout the deep abyss of the open sea, casting a bright light among the clouds and across the rolling surface of the ocean. One of the sailors from below yells up towards the mast. "Alverton! Get down from there, it's not safe!" The monkey looks at him and yells back in a bellowing voice, "It's my job! You'll thank me if you go overboard!" He gestures to the rope being held by his foot. "Just keep her going steady and make sure you don't lose track of the eye!" "Aye, we've got that covered." A wave crashes over the side and the sailor staggers a bit, but keeps a hold on the railing. "We should have never listened to you, you know. It's not safe to go this far out from home. We should have never left the shores." Alverton looks down with an annoyed face. "Save the lecture for when we're in the clear, would you? It'll be worth it in the end with the haul we've made." "As far as I know, that haul you speak of probably fell overboard not too long ago, and I don't feel like joining it." Alverton tightens his grip on the rope and looks ahead with a determined gaze. "Just a bit further." He says this to himself, making it hard for me to hear. I float around him a bit more, not really having control of the direction I'm going, but staying within a general distance of his figure. It's like I'm some sort of spirit. This is really weird. I thought I was supposed to experience these things from the perspective of others. Why am I not in a body right now? Tygren told me to test my boundaries, but I'm not sure if this has anything to do with what's happening. All the visions I've willingly had so far have been about people I've had some experiences with. Yet, I feel some sort of connection with this monkey, even though I don't know him. Could he be a sailor from Erin that I've run into before? It doesn't seem likely given how old this ship looks, but it's the only explanation I can come up with. Over that. Damn, that's a loud thunder. Lightning. Playing out before me. He grips a small-looking necklace that's tied around his neck on a string. Then it happens. There's this moment where everything seems calm. Oh, I bet he's a Avatar. The noise from the rain is muffled and the wind slows down slightly. A deafening boom claps all around me and my vision goes away in an instant. Did lightning just strike the ship? My hearing comes back after a second as the wind rustles through my ears. I get this false feeling of dropping, like I'm being dragged down a heavy object. Or maybe it's like I'm taking a dive through the air, chasing something. Then there's a heavy splash and a sudden decrease in speed. All noise is muffled and it's almost eerily soothing. Like closing a window on a rainy night. My eyes adjust to the darkness and I can see little particles floating around me, like dust swirling through the air. Ooh, the ocean. I'm under the water's surface. I get a glimpse of the monkey's figure off in the distance. Lightning in the sky above dimly illuminates the water around us, casting rays of light that beam down into the dark void beneath us. He's just floating there, his body completely still. The rope that was being gripped by his foot is gone. Probably lost to the tide or still on the ship. I try to get closer to him, but I don't feel like I'm moving. I'm not liking where this is going. I can hear this ominous vibrating noise, like an earthquake but underwater. Ominous voices and noise echoes around me. Fear creeps its way into my soul as I wait in darkness. Whoa! Oh! I'm jolted in my seated position, painfully throwing myself into the wall behind me, letting out a yelp. What's going on in there? A guard yells down the tunnel, sounding like he's pretty close. Nothing, I just slipped. I'm fine. There's a pause, and he throws his voice down the tunnel again. Just don't do it again! I hear his footsteps travel back up the corridor, and I stand up, resting my head near the window. Are you gonna say something, or do I have to ask? I quickly whispered this under my breath in an annoyed tone. There's silence. It's a very long silence, and at first I think they didn't hear me. Then they speak up. There are just some things that I'm not allowed to explain to you. What the hell was that? Who was that? Why were you there? More silence. Look, I've been nice so far. I've been going along with all this knowing that I could very well be in a lot of trouble. The least you could do is be truthful with me. This gets them to speak up. I am being truthful with you. It doesn't really feel like it. I hear them take a deep breath. Leuven, please. I've already explained all of this before. I am held back from doing certain things, saying certain things. It could cause a lot of trouble. It's not my place to give you knowledge, only the ability to seek it out yourself. I grip one of the rusty iron bars in my fist, running my other hand down my face. A little bit more facial hair prickles my hand than usual, reminding me how long I've gone without taking care of myself. I probably have a fully grown beard by the end of this. You just need to trust me. I grip the bars on the window harder. I'm really tired of hearing you say that. I have several reasons not to. Forgive me for being irrational, although I don't really see it that way, but you've been nothing but suspicious. And you think I want to be? I don't know, but none of this is working in your favor. That book Leaf brought down said that people who have your power die. Is that going to happen to me? Are you just here to escort me into an early grave? No, I'm not. Who's Alverton? More silence as they ignore my question and try to change the subject. All will be revealed, I promise. Is he a past Avatar? Someone whose mind you invaded long ago? You know that I can't answer that. What were you doing there? There's a deep sigh and more silence. I really didn't want to believe it, but it feels like you're lying to me about something. Something really important. They don't answer. That's when I hear footsteps pacing down the tunnel. They're light and sturdy sounding, like they're walking very fast. I back away from the window and sit on the ground in front of the door, leaning my back against the rough wall. We'll talk about this later. I say this under my breath so that whoever is coming doesn't hear me. It's a tough game I play, talking with Tygren while I have no privacy. The guards can't really hear my hushed whispers from here, though, so it works for now. I could speak with them in my mind, but it takes a lot of getting used to. Footsteps get closer, and I can't help but get a little anxious. Hopefully it's not Adrius again, down here to patronize me even more than he already has. The repetitive noise doesn't sound like his hooves, though. It's a sound I'm all too familiar with. The sound of someone wearing shoes. The steps slow to a casual walk, and then she comes into view. Liz stands there in front of the cell door looking at me. She has this face that looks like she's trying to find what to say. You look a lot better than I thought you would. Thanks? Sorry. It's just the way Prince Adrius described you. He exaggerated a bit. King Adrius. Yes. And how is our king? She gives me a perplexed look. I can't tell if she's surprised I'm showing any hint of concern or if she's shocked to have the gall to mock him in front of her. He's obviously distraught in finding his own way to cope with it. But that's the thing. It's like he's still a prince. Nothing's really changed yet. Yet. She throws her head back in an exhausted manner and runs her hands through her auburn hair. Why am I talking about this with you? I don't even know you, and you're suspected of killing our king. She leans back against the wall and looks down. I know that Lyre tried to convince you that I didn't do it. He also said that you even considered it. What of it? Well, for the record, I didn't do it. She cocks an eyebrow at that remark. But why would you believe me? She throws her hands to her sides and looks at me incredulously. I don't believe you. I believe Lyre. He's extremely loyal to this kingdom, and I know that he would never betray it, even if he lets his feelings get in the way. So if he trusts you, then that gives me reason to at least consider it a possibility. Well, that's very nice to hear. Sadly, I don't think it will help me. She lowers her head and exhales. Why have you come down here? She slumps against the wall slightly. The first reason? I was curious. The whole situation seemed completely outlandish, and I had to see you for myself at least once before the trial. Well, what's the second reason? She lets out a sigh. The trial. Has the day already been decided? Yes. The trial will take place 9 days from now. 9 days? I tilt up from my sitting position. No, no, no! I know. Everyone just wants it to happen as soon as possible. This is just enough time for everything to be prepared, so it's quite literally happening as soon as possible. I'm really sorry, but I thought you should know. I walk over to the stone bed and sit on it, leaning against the wall and looking up at the ceiling. Liz is no longer in my sight, but I can still feel and hear her presence on the other side of the bars. Are you okay? I don't answer her at first. You remember how I said that Raynor spoke very highly of you? Yes. She takes a deep breath. That was an understatement. He saw something in you that even I can't explain. I hear her take a couple steps away. If you truly didn't kill Raynor, then don't take that for granted. She pauses, waiting for a response from me, but I don't give her one. My mind is racing with the idea that I only have 9 days to figure this out. What she said about Raynor resonates with me, though. Take care of yourself, Lord Leuven. She walks down the tunnel, her footsteps fading away. After a while, silence fills the tunnel once more. The trial is only 9 days away, and I have nothing to help me yet. Lau's forbidden from seeing me, so I can't get his help either. I can't train any faster, and it feels like I'm getting nowhere. Visions of Raynor cloud my mind as well. The thought of his true murderer never being unveiled makes me feel empty inside for some reason. Every possibility of that night's outcome swirls in my head like a hurricane. Only one thought stays focused in the center of the storm, though. How could I have prevented this from happening? What the hell am I gonna do? Only one option comes to mind. I need to at least try to figure out who actually killed him. It's the only way I can solve this in time. What did I tell you earlier? Tygren, I only have 9 days! Even you understand that it would take a miracle to get out of this. Including the one that I already have. You need more practice. I have to try, Tygren! If I can't figure this out in time, I'm dead! You're not going to stop me from making this decision! I sit down on the floor and cross my legs. Closing my eyes, I can hear their voice get louder. Leuven, I am warning you. If you do this... You'll what? A chill runs down my spine. After I cut him off, he stops talking altogether. Then he speaks up in a soft tone. Alright, I'm gonna pause it right here. Guys, yes, Lyre is back! Hell yeah, baby! Fluffy boys are back in town! Alright, anyway, guys, please, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!